Alright, let's do a quick walk-through shop tour. Here you can see the most important item, which is Leo. He's our shop mascot. He's been with me for 2.5 years, collecting benefits. Over here we've got our finishing room. This is recently completed. Got a nice ducting area that allows me to ventilate this main area of the shop, as well as just this paint room. And we've got filters here. We don't do a ton of finishing, but we have the capability if needed. Of course, the miter station and table saw don't get as much action as they used to, and lumber storage over here. The critical piece is the CNC machine. The two elements that are relevant here would be, the accessories at least, are the dust collector over here and the hold down vac, which I've put in a sound enclosure back here with drywall. So let's talk about the machine itself. What we've got is a Cam Master 2013 Cobra 5x10 foot table. It's got 5 hold down zones, which are controlled right here. It'll allow suction from this vacuum to keep parts attached to the MDF without moving. This machine has got a 4th axis decorative lathe attachment, which doesn't get much use but is kind of neat. And the computer is here. This is my only gripe with this machine, is that the computer, even though it's sealed and it's got filters, the brains are a little bit too close to where the dust is generated. Other than that, this thing works great, and we keep a bunch of backup parts for when gears or power supplies or anything like that breaks. If you're not familiar with how hold-down vacuum systems work, it's pretty simple. This vacuum right here is connected to some 4-inch PVC pipe that runs underneath the machine, and then along this table there are these basically shower drains, and they are where the suction comes from the vacuum. We're not using these two right here, but underneath the surface of this MDF there are, I think, 3 or 4 more. And these channels that are routed in this phenolic black top allow the suction to distribute evenly across the surface of the MDF. MDF, or medium density fiberboard, is a porous material. So what we'll do is, when we get this new sheet of MDF, we will use the facing bit to run over the entire surface to take off any of the factory sealed face, and then we'll flip it over and do the same thing. Then we'll bolt it down to the table so that it can never warp, and from there we have a perfectly flat surface. And when we turn on the vacuum back here, what happens next is any flat part that you lay on here will be stuck to the board, and it's an 18 horsepower motor, so it's not going anywhere. Forces that the bit applies pushing through the material are pretty strong, but the vacuum is firm enough to hold it. So that's it. The shop is open for people to visit. In the time of COVID, we're wearing masks, of course, but feel free, if you're interested, in stopping by.